Hobby Shop. Fly the best. 3dhobbyshop.com.
Is it on?
Yep, we're running.
Hey, welcome to another 3D clinic with Bonedoc, and this time it's Kevin IPS Motors behind the camera, so thanks a lot, Kevin. We're going to do a little bit about giant scale stuff here, since some of our Kool-Aid brothers are starting to get into dabbling into giant scale. A couple of things you'll notice is that things are bigger, things may happen slower, and in general things are easier to fly, but they're also, if you make mistakes, you'll feel it. It'll bite you harder. Okay? So always do a pre-flight routine, make sure your aileron throw is correct. And another thing I always do also is check the voltage battery of the main pack itself as well as the receiver pack before each flight. And that makes sure that I am not going to be flying on the discharge pack. So let's take the slick up for a ride. Start out low rates, advance the throttle slowly, and then gently lift off. There you go. A couple of things when you're flying your first giant scale is that they fly a lot more majestically, they fly better in general, but don't let the slowness deceive you. They're flying quite fast. So be familiar with what the stall characteristic is, and you know, there you go, it's about to stall right there. And try to learn where that stall is so that you know when it's about to happen. Let's do it downwind here. And then you can add gas appropriately. It's going to stall about right now. There you go. See, by adding gas at the right time, I could prevent myself from getting into big doo-doo. Okay, so let's try this a little low. It's flying, and then it's going to stall about right now. Right there. See, punching the gas in time will save your bacon. Okay. The other thing you should try doing is try how to learn dead stick landing, because assuming that you've got momentum, it carries that momentum a lot better. There you go. Coming in for landing. Do I have enough juice? Maybe. Make sure you keep that nose pointed down at least 5 to 10 degrees. That way your airplane will always be, see, I'm pushing down there also. Okay. And make sure you still have that momentum, because if you don't, alright, let's see this, what happens. Let's say I lost it there. I try to keep the nose up. What you'll notice is the plane will lose a lot of altitude as well as speed, and it's going to be really hard to recover from this one, because by the time I need to flare up, then it's going to stall. See that? I have the benefit of having a throttle to come out of it. Okay. The other thing that you might have is if your connection's loose, let's say you lost it there, immediately dive in for a little bit of speed and then head for the runway. Woohoo! There you go. A survivable landing, right? That plane will live to fly another flight. So at the moment, let's say you're doing some kind of a maneuver, spin, roll, whatever, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, I don't have anything anymore. Point your nose down. And at this point, if you see I'm way too high, but I definitely don't have the room to turn around. And so if that were a true dead stick landing, I would just go ahead, commit to it, run off the runway, and your plane would be much better off that way. Okay. Now let's talk about regular landing. Since you have power with you, you always want to be modulating your throttle, okay? If you're just starting out, I still recommend just a little bit of nose down to keep that airspeed up. See how I'm adding throttle as I'm coming down. I'm still a little too high there, but if I add throttle, It'll keep the nose from throttle. It's kind of windy too. Then more throttle there if I really wanted to commit myself to landing it. Okay? So in your first couple of packs, you have to really learn how to land your airplane well, because everything else is optional, but landing, at least a landing that you can fly the airplane with again, that's kind of mandatory. And what you'll notice sometimes is that it'll balloon at the runway, especially on a hot day, because, and then pull up. Oh God. And the gear took it. That's what happened when you try to keep pulling the elevator and it just gets lower and lower and lower, and you get a little slower and slower. And that's why I still like having the nose pointed down a little bit. For most people, it just helps to remind them that they really should be flying with some amount of airspeed. And what you'll notice is if you have your plane set up with 3D rates, 3D throws, and 3D CG, is that it wants to kind of balloon up. A little bit of throttle, a little bit of push here. There you go. Okay. Let's do it one more time. Okay. See how I'm just motoring along at low speed, but my throttle is always there. I'm always focusing on how much throttle I need to give to keep my airplanes happy and to keep it from stalling. And right now I'm kind of in the edge of stall already, so I need to be very vigilant about the throttle usage here. Put a little push here. There you go.